I'm disappointed in where things are at Ground Zero right now. I think it's sad. On the other hand, I do think the people involved are trying reasonably hard under the circumstances. And, but there's really not a great deal of vision there. It begins really right back the morning of September the 12th, when Governor Pataki, who had the most authority in this situation, made the decision to keep everybody in place who was a player in this situation. The Port Authority, which owned the World Trade Center, the developer Larry Silverstein, who had leased the Twin Towers, and most importantly, to keep the program in place. The program, by program I mean the functions of the buildings. So, the World Trade Center was 10 million square feet of office space, plus some retail and some other commercial space. That's what was transferred into the new project with the addition of a memorial and some cultural facilities, and the prescription that it be in a different physical format, obviously, not to 110-story towers again, but spread out around the site in a different way. But we never really looked into completely different uses for the site. We never really thought from point zero, we might say, about what the ideal thing to do there would be. Instead, we took a program that goes back to the original World Trade Center in the early 60s, and that was never really that effective or successful for most of its life, and decided to replicate it. And then came all the complex political things that flowed from that. So it's taken an inordinately long time. It's cost a huge amount of money, and we still don't really have anything that I think the world can kind of look at and say, this is a great achievement that shows us that the United States has come back from this thing in a noble way. The office building that's going up is sort of okay, but it's not, I don't think, going to be a distinguished or particularly beautiful building. It's not it doesn't show all that we're capable of in terms of architecture. Similarly, the other office buildings that have been planned for the site, most of which are on hold now because of the economy, are better than the average piece of junk on Third Avenue. That's true, but that's not a very ringing endorsement. And for this site that is so critical to the eyes of the world, where we had the opportunity to show the world that we could do something that was bold and visionary, we have really not succeeded at doing that. I think a great tower would have had a place there, either a pure tower, just as a symbol, like sort of the Eiffel Tower of the 21st century, we might say, or remembering that the United States is, after all, the birthplace of the skyscraper, a building form that we've now given to the world and is now common all around the world. What better place, if we're looking to show the world that, in fact, we have not been defeated by this attack, than to come back to this place, in this country, in this time, and build the most advanced skyscraper we could possibly imagine, the one that will bring the art of skyscraper design forward yet again. And instead, we're not doing that. We're doing a building that is not that different from a lot of commercial buildings built everywhere, and in fact, not as good as many of them. It's going to be very tall. It'll have a little more flair to it than the old Twin Towers did, but it's not what it might have been.